Yeah, you're actually very right. There's two things that's really bothers either a buyer or a seller, and with their real estate agent or their loan officer, is lack of communication and the entire mortgage process. They say, for some reason, buyers really don't like the mortgage process, and sellers don't like being left out of not understanding what's going on with the buyer. So the seller always wants to know, well, what's the buyer doing? Has the appraisal been done? And to understand what's going on, you guys have to keep everybody updated. And if you can't do it because you're doing too many loans, oh darn, that's a bad problem. It's actually a good thing. You can get an assistant to make sure that all they do is update your clients. Okay. Communication. Whether your client's a first-time home buyer or a move-up buyer, they need to be confident that they're working with professionals who have their best interest at hand. So you want to make sure that you talk to your clients all the time. Like right now, we have a client who's doing, it's an 80-10-10, and those 80-10-10 loans are very rare to find. So it's an 80% first, a 10% second, and he's putting down 10%. And his appraisal came in, and it's really interesting because he's buying a house for $1.010 million, and the appraisal came in at $991. So now we got a problem, right? Well, the interesting part is the condo across the hallway that's not as nice as ours, the appraisal just came in at $1.035 million. So the real estate agent's going, well, why is your appraisal low? And I don't want the real estate agent to think that I have a crappy appraiser, because it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the investors and who they order the appraisal through. But the good news is the appraiser knows that we're uptight and contacted the listing agent, and she's giving him a copy of the other appraisal, and hopefully we'll be okay. So as long as everybody's communicating, there's that word again, and we're trying to work together to make the deal happen, everything will be okay. And so I'm also trying to keep my buyer comfortable too. And it's not going forward. There it is. What is best for your client? Communicate with your client prior to referring them to the mortgage lender. So that's for the real estate agents. Talk to them, ask them some questions, because you can actually ask them questions before they move to the lender. And as a loan officer, your real estate agents will be, if you educate your real estate agents, you're going to talk to people who will actually be qualified, and you won't have to tell them, maybe you have to do this or maybe you have to do that. It's up to your relationship with the real estate agent. So if you're the real estate agent, talk to your client before you refer them over to your loan officer. If you're a loan officer, educate your real estate agents on the things that they need to know about their clients, so that they're not telling them, oh, you can buy a house right now, look around, and then they refer you to the loan officer and then they can't buy the house. Okay, are they even ready to make a move? First things, these are my favorite things. They're the first three things that you have to know about a client. Do you have a down payment? I know that sounds really crazy, but you have no idea how many times I talk to somebody and they're so insistent on talking to me, and they're like, oh, I got to talk to you. I want to buy a house. And I'm like, okay, great. How much money do you have for a down payment? Oh, I don't have a down payment yet. Okay. So then one time I was at a hotel because I teach classes in their conference room, and it was so cute because it was the opposite way. The lady checking me in, she's like, oh, you're the instructor for the real estate classes. And I said, yeah. And she goes, my husband and I really want to buy a home, but we don't think we're ready yet because we don't have enough money saved yet. And I said, really? What do you have? And she said, $76,000. I went, really? You have $76,000? You can buy 2 houses, young lady. No, I'm just kidding. You guys really, it seems so elementary to you guys because you're loan officers or you real estate agents. It seems elementary that you need a down payment or you don't need a down payment. However, it seems like a lot of people really don't know, and I'm kind of baffled as to why when kids are in high school, I know there's economics, but you think that there'd be some kind of class that says, okay, when you get out of high school, you're going to be very close to 18, legally allowed to buy a home, obviously maybe possibly not have a down payment yet, but these are things you should know. I mean, this is kind of a life lesson. And it's not like I'm an overachiever or anything, but I bought my first place when I was 18. But anyway, so ask about a down payment. The second thing that we care about is the credit score. And I'm going to go through all these things when we get to them. They'll be as the slides go on. And the next thing is the income versus the debt. That's the one that's going to take us the longest to go over, because we're going to see how we calculate the income and how we calculate the debt. So moving on to the next. Down payment. So do your clients have a down payment? Believe it or not, like I already said, a lot of people are looking for home